So I'm going to be logging into Formative and showing you a little bit about it. First thing you want to do is make sure you have access to it. So just make sure you reach out to the administrator, whoever's in charge, and make sure that you have access. After that, just go ahead and go to the website. The first time you log in, make sure you do it with your teaching credentials. Here at the Excel Center, use your Google Excel teacher account login information. And once you do that, then you should have access to Formative. And so Formative here is this is where you want to go when you go to create your first one is just go to a new Formative. And then here you can pretty much do a lot of different things. You would title it here, whatever it was that you wanted to title it. And then here you could create your own formative uh, worksheet basically with all of these different type of content. So here you could put a video of something that you want them to watch before they start answering questions. You could text blocks, so you wanted to read a passage before or answer a question about an image, or just have them, like if it's art class, look at this image. And then after that, you can use different types of questions to ask them for the assignment. So if you want them to answer with an audio response, you could use this. You can do different drag and drop options. So many different choices you have here. If you're doing math, there's graphing. One of the most common ones are multiple choice, multiple selection. And then again, for math, the show your work is always very useful. And then you have a video response here, which I use for my mock job interviews. You can also download different content that you already have, and you can even look at their library to see, or Goodwill Excel's library, your organization's library, to see what's available there. So for me, what I like to do is I go into the Google Drive and I look for assignments that are there, so they're like common assignments, and I'll just convert them into uh, formatives. And so, for example, here I have this assignment here, states of matter assignment that I inherited when I got here, but because I moved everything over to formative, now I just basically converted it into a formative assignment based off of like some of the options that you saw there. So let me see, for example, that was states of matter. So it's this one right here. And so what I did, I just downloaded the whole form here, and then I broke it up by section. So here you see some of the questions. And the easiest thing to do for these is just to bring up the snipping tool. And what I like to do is just I will go into the actual assignment and then just kind of snip out pieces of it and then insert them here. So just the questions themselves. So the diagram shows. So again, basically this is just handout that was converted into a formative assignment. And this is a multiple choice right here. I also have some of these matching ones. You kind of match them up by dragging them around. And then there's this right here where they have to go in here and uh, identify what these arrows are pointing at. So they would just click on the little text box here. And then here they could just write whatever it was that they needed to write there. And so if they're doing math, and you also have these where you can insert different math symbols. And so that is how you create a formative. And also what you really want to know too, and there's so much to do. This will require a few videos to get everything to see everything that it has to offer. But what's really cool too is that you can sync up your classes. So with your roster, you would just go to the Google Classroom, click on this, sign in with your, again, teacher account. And then I won't go any further to prevent showing students' names, but you would just click on all the students who are in your classroom, set them as active, and they are all part of the formative website. So then whenever you go to check grades, you can see that a lot of the students, um, when you go to a formative, let me just choose an untitled formative. So here, when everyone is done, then you click on view responses and you can see what everyone did in their assignment. And so here you see green means that they got them right, red means that they got them wrong, and then those blank spaces, as you see, just means they really didn't do anything at all there. And so you can actually follow along, which is what's really cool about formative. As they're working through the assignment, you can click on each individual student and see if they're getting something wrong. you can mention to them in class, because everyone's still in the Google Classroom at this point, and you let them know, hey, you don't have to call them out by name, but say something, hey, if anyone's working on number two, take a look at your answer and make sure that you're not doing this, right? Not falling into this mistake. And so you can, again, just keep them accountable while they are working on these things, and you give them instant feedback. And so there's so many different ways of giving them feedback. You can type it out, you can draw it out, you can record your voice, you can record a video. And so it really falls into the universal design of creating content for everybody. And what's also really cool is once you have all of these assignments done, or even your final exams or any type of assessment you're taking, you can compare different classes together, putting them side by side. So if you have an assessment that you're doing at the end, and you see that, you can see, actually, you can put them all side by side and see one class got this, 74% of them got it right for the first section of the class. 80% got it right the second percent, or the second class, and 90 got it. So you can kind of see whether there's like improvement or there's a decline. And that's what's one of the cool things about seeing all the data that all the reports that Formative provides. So there's a lot of advantages to using it. Again, keeping students accountable, so you make sure they're doing assignments while they're in class and not just kind of tuning out mentally. You can record all of this information. You have all the grades in one area. You have all the assignments in one area, so you're not struggling to collect people emailing and people turning in assignments through the classroom. And so everything is just consolidated in one area. And then I even like to use this for my in-person students. I'm paper free pretty much. And it's also teaching the students how to use different programs, which makes them more computer literate. So there's a lot of benefits to using Formative.